Hi guys, so this is the first video of the year 2018, so a very happy new year to all of y'all. So here I'll try to discuss a question which someone asked on our forum. What happens if I don't pay my health insurance premiums in time? Well, it is very important that you actually pay your health insurance premiums in time. The consequences of not paying on time can be quite dramatic and could impact you in a very, very negative way. So I would personally recommend that you always pay it on time. The insurance companies offer you a grace period. That means in case you forget or for some reason you couldn't do it on time, they offer you a window in which you can actually make the payment after the due date. The regulations actually say that you have a 15-day grace period. That means suppose 1st Feb was the time in which you're supposed to make the renewal payment, but you couldn't, but you still have 15 days from 1st Feb to actually make the payment. Some companies voluntarily keep this as a 30-day period. That means from the whole of February is a period in which you can actually make the payment. So even after the grace period, if you haven't made the payments, here's what can potentially happen. Your renewal could be refused. The insurance company is well within its rights because you haven't paid it on time, so they can refuse the renewal to you. Second is there is no coverage period in the grace. There is no coverage in the grace period. So if you're getting late, and something happens in that period where you're supposed to have paid the premium, but you didn't. It could be trouble for you because the insurance company will then refuse payment for any claim which you're going to make. The most important part is the pre-existing coverages which you start getting after a certain period of time. That starts getting reset. So the waiting period which was there, suppose you had an illness and the insurance company had a waiting period of 4 years and you had already completed 3 years. In case you don't make the premium on time, even after the grace period, the waiting periods restarts from zero. So that's a huge loss for those who have an existing illness. And also the waiting periods for other kind of diseases or treatments which the insurance company might have kept as part of the plan will all be reset. So and that is probably the biggest reason why you should make your health insurance premiums payment on time. And please remember that in case your insurance is not being renewed, then if you made a claim in the last few years, if you have a pre-existing disease, if your age is higher, you might not find it very easy to get a health insurance plan anymore, because the one plan which you have, mandatorily the health insurance company has to renew you for lifetime. But in case you stop it for, it could be just because you forgot, but that is good enough reason at the age of 50 if the insurance company says, boss, too risky, here is a guy who hasn't paid the premium, just refuse coverage to him. So there are, quite a lot of dramatic scenarios which could happen, and you've paid the premium for the healthy period, and just because you missed the premium date by 15-30 days, for the rest of the life, you might find it difficult to get. So always I would recommend that make your premium payment 15 to 30 days in advance of the due date. I hope that was useful. Thank you.